I believe that all successful AI implementations use what I call a user-focused. So think of the doctors and how they're using it. In this case, the doctor or the radiologist is the user. Decision backwards. In other words, understand what you're solving for exactly. The TB is the use case. Diagnosing for TB is a use case. Understanding what a migrant population and understanding whether somebody who's migrating from, let's say, India to Dubai has TB or not is important for the immigration authorities in Dubai. So understanding that it is used for that purpose and working backwards from the decision is useful. And framing it narrowly is also useful, because so far, while AI is making great strides in every possible area across a whole range of problems, the places where we have seen most success is when AI is framed very narrowly. The more broad AI is, the chances are we will have more issues. So once you have user-focused, decision backwards, narrowly framed approach, we have seen great success. And here the idea is to drive from data all the way to decisions. And in fact, start with the decision and drive decisions from data. And then in some cases, it will be about augmenting decisions. In some cases, it will be automating decisions. But find out that human-machine collaboration and build it user-focused, decision backwards, narrowly framed. That's the big insight for us. Now let's see what Google did with Google Glass. Google, in fact, abandoned the Google Glass consumer-grade product, but they did not abandon the Google Glass project altogether. So they built Google Enterprise Edition 2. And now this one is a much more purpose-built solution. It is user-focused, it is decision backwards, and it is more narrowly framed in industrial and manufacturing examples and healthcare examples, so that they can drive. A doctor need not make 3 or 4 hours of notes, but she or he can dictate notes to the glass. They can have a more meaningful conversation with the patient. And Google Glass is set up exactly to serve doctors and the patients where it is applicable. So great example of pivoting it into a more user-focused, decision backwards, more narrowly framed example. And that's what drove Google's success in Google Glass Enterprise Edition 2. Not just Google, even Microsoft, who launched HoloLens, actually has pivoted into, now it's HoloLens 2. And they recently sold a $22 billion project to the US Army. And the idea here is, it is not just HoloLens 2, but it's an integrated visual augmentation system for the Army. And while the glasses themselves cost only $5 billion, there's a $15 billion of Azure consumption, and other custom requirements of the US Army. So it is purpose-built, it is user backwards, it is narrowly framed, and that's how even Microsoft is driving the success of HoloLens 2.